Hey guys, how's it going? So today I want to talk to you about how to buy your first Airbnb property and what not to do. So first things first, I'd highly recommend you don't buy in cash. So a lot of the times people have the misconception of that they need to buy a property in cash, which in reality, the rich get richer by leveraging cash. So if you can, as a first-time home buyer, try to purchase your first Airbnb, whether you're moving into it for a little bit or you're buying a duplex and Airbnb out the other side, or just having a normal tenant. But as far as that goes, you can have as little as 2.5% down on your first time home purchase. But if you already own property, then you're gonna need 25% down of the purchase price. So before you start searching around for your next property, you wanna make sure you're prepared with your financing. So this consists of being prepared with your lender and making sure that you're getting your DTI down as much as possible. So your debt to income ratio is very important to a lender when you're getting pre-approved. So if you're a business owner, a lot of the times you need to get your taxes in order for your lender because you need to show your income. A lot of the times business owners try to show as little as possible so they don't have to pay as much taxes, but this can kind of hurt you in the long run if you're looking to buy more properties. But if you're working a 9 to 5, you want to make sure that you have your taxes ready for your lender. So once you have your DTI and taxes in order, you want to get pre-approved with a qualified lender. So this will help you along the path of buying your first home, and it'll make you ready to pull the trigger when you find that right property. So once you're pre-approved with your lender, I'd highly recommend that you sit down and talk to them and let them know what you're going for, whether it's a single family home or a duplex and you're looking to Airbnb it out. Make sure that you guys are on the same page and he can run different scenarios for you, whether it's money down, not putting as much down, or the income statement from the property that's projected, or the current rent. So a lot of the times they'll take the current rent from that property or local rents, just market value, and they will determine what they can lend on that property. A lot of the times people get very emotional when they're looking for properties. They get super excited and they want to pull the trigger on the first income property that they see, whether it's a duplex, triplex, single family home, because they've been thinking about it so long and they just want to get in the game. So sometimes people pull the trigger way too early on the first property. I would definitely suggest you don't pull the trigger on the first property that you see, and make sure that the numbers are correct. Very important to know the market that you're buying in. You want to make sure that the population is growing, that there's plenty of jobs, and there's more and more people moving to the area, just depending on where you want to purchase. So again, like I say in my other videos, you got to plan this out. If you want to buy in a city or if you want to buy outside of a national park, you definitely need to get to know the area. From what I've seen on the first purchase, like I said, people get very emotionally excited and they let that take over and purchase their first property and kind of twist numbers and project numbers in the future, which can leave them in a bad situation. So you want to double check your numbers, make sure you're using accurate numbers and not assuming different numbers or projected rents, because you want to go off of the now and not the future, just to save yourself just in case the market takes a turn. Getting emotional and just guessing is along the same lines. Like I said, people get emotional when they're purchasing their first property. So make sure you're having your emotions intact, but also do not guess. Like I said, do not guess on rents. Do not guess on values going up. You want to make sure that the renovation costs are definitely written down and you've had contractors give you bids on whatever you need to do to the house and make it ready for Airbnb. Even when you get all of your bids from your contractors to do whatever work is needed in the front yard or inside of the house to make it ready, you want to leave a little bit of cushion, just because a lot of the times when going through a renovation, the contractor is going to find more things than you expect within the walls, plumbing or electrical. So you want to make sure that although you have those concrete numbers and you have the quotes from your contractors, you leave a little extra wiggle room. If you can, I would stick with 100% turnkey property, just because going through renovations can be an absolute headache and a nightmare. And if it's your first property, you want it to be as smooth as possible. Buying your property, you want to prepare for future expenses, general maintenance, as well as capital expenditures. So this needs to be within your bank account. After you buy the property, you want to make sure that you have that cash that's set aside for anything unexpected, because there will be problems in the future. So this is a huge one. So do not buy for appreciation. A lot of the times we project homes to continue to climb and climb and climb, which in reality, this isn't always the case. Although in 2021, we've seen insane climbs in the housing market. I don't think this will always happen. There could be appreciation continuing, anywhere between 2 and 3%, but you don't want to count on that and be left with a bag in your hand when the market turns and purchasing over market value, expecting it to go up, just in case things change. Sometimes buyers purchase in markets that don't really appreciate, and I'm not saying that the market's going to sink the next day after you buy your house. I hope it doesn't. Real estate takes a long time to react compared to something like the stock market. But again, you don't want to buy for appreciation just in case things do change. Cash flow is king, especially here in 2021. Not buying for appreciation is very important, especially because the market is hot. So buying for cash flow is important. You want to make sure all your numbers are correct and you are netting a certain amount each month. This goes for Airbnb as well. So you want to make sure that your Airbnb is cash flowing and you're saving the reserves just in case you come into a slow season, something like December. For me in Sequoia National Park, I'm assuming it's going to be a lot slower than June and July were. Make sure you don't get analysis paralysis. So I know it's hard. You're looking at a bunch of deals, you're running numbers, and a lot of properties are working within your set criteria, which is great. You're always going to have that feeling that you should know 100 more things about the property before you buy it, but this makes you not purchase the property and not make that jump. So it's important to not get analysis paralysis. If your numbers work, whatever your criteria is, and the house is good for you, it's in a location you know and like, then pull the trigger. Do not wait and jump in both feet first. Guys, you want to make sure you're putting out offers. So when you're in your home search, you want to be putting out as many offers as possible on homes that are working for you within your criteria, and the numbers are great. So make sure you're putting out offers, because not every time you put out an offer, it's going to get accepted. So you don't want to lose out on properties just because you have an offer on a property here and a property there, because they both might not work out. Just make sure your contingencies are in order, your inspection contingencies are set, as well as your loan contingencies. So there's always a way out of it, and you can get your deposit back. So it's very important when you're putting out offers to make sure that your contingencies are in place, whether it's you putting out the offer or your realtor. Make sure that you are always protected with buying your first home, and this will help you kind of ease your nerves a little bit, knowing that you won't lose your deposit. So let's recap. So don't buy in cash, be prepared with financing, don't get so emotional, and don't guess on your numbers, and do not buy for appreciation. If you guys do this, I think you'll do really well with your first property. Whether it's Airbnb or buying for traditional income with tenants. I think that if you keep these things in mind, you'll be golden, and I hope this helps a little bit in your journey to purchasing your first property. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these little tips will help you in your journey in purchasing your first rental property. Continue to follow, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.